What's going on YouTube? Jamie the Kid 00 here, back with Tournament Diary 16. For a bit of a change of pace today, myself, Cupcakey, and a friend of ours all drove over to Bristol for their locals instead of ours because they were having a bit of a bigger locals, and I fancied a different meta, a chance to try my rabbit deck out at a different place. Ultimately, I ended up going 3-3, and you'll see why when I explain the pairings. Placing 14th out of 21 players. And not top 8ing the event. Ultimately, my rounds went as so. The first game I played against Dragon and won that kind of narrowly. Round 2 went up against Heroes and lost to that. Round 3 went up against Dragons and lost to that. Round 4 I managed to scrape a win against Dark World simply because it wasn't the top. It wasn't the build that topped Brighton. Sorry, not Brighton. Long Beach. Game 4 was where it put me out of the tournament because I played another hero deck. And for those of you who play Rabbit, you'll realise that Heroes is an awful matchup for you. And I got Heroes and Dragons, which are both bad matchups. And then finally I played against X-Sabers in the last round and won that, putting me 3-3. So it was a bit of a dissatisfactory end to the day, but ultimately there were no kind of harsh losses. I'm not that sad about it. I'll talk about some of the things that happened when I go through the deck list. This is going to be the profile. It was a bit different from the deck I played at last locals, so it will be a bit different for you guys to see. Of course, it played the Triple Rabbit. It has to play the Triple Rabbit. Then played the normal monsters. I opened 3 of these at one point, and I also opened 3 of these at one point, and I opened multiples of them all day long. Like, this was the exact opposite of locals last time, because I opened none of these last locals, and that's why I won. Tour guides, I didn't get these nearly as much as I would have wanted to. And then when I did, they were kind of dead. However, funny story about this was, I misplayed. I had these in grave, and I drew into my final tour guide, and I thought, oh, I'm in a really tight situation, I'll summon the tour guide. And then I went, uh-oh, I've got none in grave. I've got all my targets are in grave, they're not in deck. The guy Solemn Judgmented the tour guide anyway without actually checking my graveyard. So I was kind of really happy with that because otherwise I'd misplayed and he was about to attack into the tour guide and kill the Gelen duo that I had on the field. So I was so happy when he did that. Instead of the Jurak Guibers, I ended up maining 2 Thunder Kings. These were brilliant in the main deck. I really didn't regret that. I kind of missed the Guibers. Ping Zhao, the winner of YCS Brighton, he really urged me to take the Thunder Kings out and put the Guibers back in. But, I don't know, it'll be a subject of testing. And then the third Guiber spot was taken up by a Gelen duo, because this card is just ridiculous. It's so good in Rabbit. It was either that or Arcana Force the Fall, and I prefer that because it's a 4 and you can Exceed with it and crazy stuff like that. For the hand traps, I played 2 Maxis because it was Maxi. These were dead so fucking much at the event. Like, the fact that I went up against Dragons and Heroes, there was just 1-for-1ing with these, and even then I didn't get to use them nearly as much as I would have wanted. So they were dead. Veilers against the Hero games, these were completely dead. And they were dead against Dragons for the most part, because I never drew them against Red Eyes Darkness Metals, so they were awful. Gauze, I never drew him, ever. I drew him against the X-Saber player, and that was it. So Gauze never came to me. Oh no, wait! I got it against the Dragon player when it didn't matter because he had like 3 Red Eyes Darkness Metals on his field, and I couldn't do anything. Oh yeah, 5-headed. That's my side deck. Leave it. Put that away. For the spells, I just played the normal Reborn, Dark Hole, Storm, the Book, Mind Control, which I really am considering taking out now because it was awful today. I mean, I got a couple of game situations off of it, but at the same time, it was really dead some other situations, especially against Dragon. And then the Avarice, which I saw once, and that was the game I won, or one of the few games I won. I played 2 MSTs. I wish I had 3. Well, I wish I played 3. I played Triple Lance. I opened 3 of these one game against the Hero player, which knocked me out of the tournament. Because I opened Triple Lance and 2 Carbazors, and he opened double Miracle Fusion, and that was just, you can see where that went. And making 0 against Carbazors when you've only got Lance is really not very fun. And then I played 2 Smashings, which I didn't see. I saw this hardly ever. I only really saw it against the X-Sabers. And then in trap-wise, I played 2 Fiendish Chains, 1 Torrential Tribute, 2 Solemn Warnings, and the Solemn Judgment to round it all off. On to the extra. You've seen this extra before, but I'll show you it anyway, because it's just the Armory Arm. The Catastor, the Thought Ruler, the Leviathan Dragon. So much I wish this was Acid Golem today. So many cases where Acid Golem would have won me games, but this couldn't be over things. Like, I needed something to get past a 0, and of course if I brought this out against Absolute 0, it would have bumped 0 up because it's a water. At least Acid Golem would have been able to even out the 3k. I played Leviathan, Leviair, and Zenmain, sorry, I got a text. Zenmain's was alright. I used him enough, but at the same time he wasn't a very big help. Otherwise I played Utopia, Ray, and Zenmeister. That text has really put me off now. Then the 3 obligatory Lagiers, I hardly made these, and even then they were fucking awful. I never made Dolkers because there was no point. I made them against, like, Absolute 0 when I lanced it just so I didn't have to lose my monsters. That was the only times I ever made him. And then the Chimera Tech, which is coming out because I never use it. Ever. Ever. Then, finally, for the side, I played 2 Cyber Dragons. They went in against hero matchups, but they were awful. Snowman Eaters, they went in against all the fucking horrible matchups, but I never drew these. Or if I did, they were awful. The 3 Guibers, I never sided these Guibers in. I wish I had them in because the Lancers came to me far too fucking often. Then there was the 3rd Thunder King. He went in all the time. Vela went in never. That was in there for Insectors. There were loads of Insector players, which I can shred, but I never played them. 1 Chalice, this never went in. Vanity's Emptiness. For the lols, I put that in against a Dragon player because it would have been useful. Never drew it. Macros, they went against Dark Worlds and Dragons at one point. And Shadow Imprisonings, they never went in because I didn't feel they were good enough against Dragons. I still really don't like them against Dragons. But that's about all there is to tell. Otherwise, guys, I'm going to be playing something different next locals. I really feel like changing the deck. I'm probably going to play, what's it called? Rabbit Gem Knights at some point because I recently traded into quite a considerable number of Gem Knights at this event. So I'm probably going to play Rabbit Gem Knights soon. Give that a try for some fun. But otherwise, guys, this has been Jamie the Kid 00 with Tournament Diary number 16. Hope you guys have enjoyed, and I will see you next week with another Tournament Diary, and I'll see you with some more content real soon. Peace out, guys. Bye.